Round 2, just recorded this video and it failed to save. So here is everything I wish I knew before I started my now multi-six-figure content creation social media marketing agency. The first thing that I wish I knew was that there are two main ways of delivering content to your clients. Way number one is the DIY approach. You physically visit your client, you bring your phone, you bring your camera, you take photos and you take videos of their products, of their location, of their warehouse, of their business. Way number two is that you create content based on pre-existing materials that they already have, such as photos and videos that they already have produced. This is the option that my agency focuses on for a couple reasons. One, it's more scalable because we're not limited to one geographical region. Two, it's less time intensive because we don't have to visit our client, spend a couple hours shooting content, and we can get our team started on the content creation process immediately without doing this block right there. And realistically, this option just makes a whole lot more sense if you are trying to build a big business. If you just want a couple of clients, then the DIY approach can work phenomenally well. But for my agency, this has worked amazingly. And I definitely would not do the DIY approach. Now, I get it. You're wondering, what if the client doesn't have many photos or videos already? This is where it really pays for you to find a designer that is good at what they do. The designers on my team can take whatever the client has, even if they just have one photo. Let's say they have one photo of their product on a white background. They can take that and turn that into amazing video content and amazing videos because they're really good at what they do. They can Photoshop it onto backgrounds where you don't even know it's Photoshopped in. Pretty amazing. And that is the first choice you got to make. Are you going to go DIY or are you going to create content based on the existing materials they have? Point number two that I wish I knew was that content creation pairs extremely well with social media management and even services such as email marketing. Yes, you can sell content as a service, as a standalone service, but when you pair it with social media, you're probably going to get your clients better results, you'll save them even more time, and it's slightly easier to sell. Which brings me on to point number three, which is the fact that yes, content is a lot easier to sell than paid advertising if you're starting your agency. Now that is assuming that you are relatively new to the marketing world and you don't have years of Facebook or paid advertising experience. And the reason it's easier to sell is that it's very convenient. It's a convenient service. Clients are paying you to save them time. And so they're not going to be too, caught up in the details of what's the ROI going to be or what if we don't make money in the first 3 months. They're more focused on the convenience that you're providing. You'll also typically charge lower retainers, which means it's easier to get your first couple of clients in because they don't have to pay you as much money, simple as. And you'll also experience longer retention. Again, this is assuming that you don't have years of Facebook ad experience, because look, if you've been doing Facebook ads for years and you know the perfect process for getting amazing results for your clients, of course, you'll keep your clients for a very long time as long as you get them results. But most people who don't have that experience will struggle to keep a Facebook ads client for more than 2 or 3 months. Keeping a content client or a content plus social media client, pretty damn easy as long as you create good content and you save them a heck load of time. I also wish I knew about the profit margins of a six-figure and a multi-six-figure content creation agency at scale. So when we started, we really undercharged for our content. In fact, our price per piece of content that we create right now is about double what it was when we started. Now, I don't regret doing that because you learn a lot from slightly undercharging and just getting that experience in with your first few clients. But it would have been nice to know how much we could charge so that we could start to work up to that price sooner rather than later, because we spent a few months with that lower price point. Now, typically you're going to be looking at roughly a 70% profit margin. Of course, you could push this to like 80, 90%, but it may even be as low as 50 or 60 for some of you, depending on how you price your service and then how much you pay your team. All in all, it's a pretty stress-free business model to run. What can go wrong? Think about it, right? When you're creating content, like, what's the worst that can happen? Your designer messes up a design and you gotta fix it. Like, not much can go wrong, really. Whereas with a paid advertising agency, with an email marketing agency, anything like that, there's a lot more at stake. You could send out an email to the wrong list. You could set the wrong budget on the Facebook ads, and instead of putting $10 a day, you put $100 a day. There's just a lot more at stake. It's a lot more complex. There's a lot more things that can go wrong. And that's why if you're trying to build a business that can be automated and that you can step back from, a content and a social media agency, it's probably my favorite route, because what can go wrong? Not that much. Now, I could probably write a book on all the lessons I've learned from building a six-figure and a multi-six-figure content agency. If you want to learn more from myself, if you know you want to start a content or a creative agency or a social media agency, then I'd love to help you out. And if you got some value from this video, definitely drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video.